So I'm going to show you step by step. This is super easy to understand. It's beginner friendly. It's great for anyone who maybe wants to up their game when it comes to their foundation and concealer application. Trust me, if you haven't tried this way, you're going to love it. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, which is all about educational beauty. Today's video is all about how to apply concealer and foundation for smooth skin. We all want smooth skin, right? Especially when we're wearing foundation and concealer. So I wanted to show you exactly how I apply my foundation and concealer so that my skin looks smooth in any light. Now, if you do like this video, please do give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell button so that you never miss any of my future videos. And I'm over on Instagram, so please do come and say hi there too. Now let's head straight into this video. So here it goes, my flawless and easy foundation and concealer application for smooth skin. So I'm going to show you step by step. This is super easy to understand. It's beginner friendly. It's great for anyone who maybe wants to up their game when it comes to their foundation and concealer application. Trust me, if you haven't tried this way, you're going to love it. It is going to blow your mind how smooth your skin is going to look. Now let's get started. I already have my moisturizer on. It's up to you whatever your moisturizer on. It's up to you whatever moisturizer you're on. It's up to you whatever moisturizer you have on, because obviously that is specific and targeted to your skin type. So we're going to stick with whatever it is that you use. Carry on using that. I've already put my moisturizer on. I'm going to get started now with my primer. Now for my primer, I'm going to be using my Hourglass Veil Mineral Primer, which is oil free. It's also SPF 15, which is great. I do feel like this is a really good primer for smoothing the skin, but also kind of protecting it. And you'll feel, as soon as you put this on, you will feel the smoothness. Immediately, your skin is just super smooth. So that is step one, right? That in itself is going to completely change the way your makeup is applied because it's so smooth. But at the same time, all of these extra steps just kind of complete the whole final look. Now, I'm going to get my concealer. I'm going to get my this is my Too Faced one, my Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. And I am going to grab a bit of this. I'm going to put it on the back of my hand because I don't want a whole dollop going on my skin. And I am going to basically apply this just strategically here and here. I'm going to explain to you how I've applied it as well, because this isn't just about applying your foundation and concealer and that's it. It's not just about the order, it is about the way that you actually apply it too. So as you can see, I've applied my concealer here and a little bit here, but if you look closely, then you can see that what I've done is I've made sure that the evenness of it is consistent. So it's not too much here and then not much there. It's not fading out as I've lifted the brush. I've kept it very even in terms of how much there is there, and also here as well. Now here is just to kind of help to lift the eye a little bit. I am going to apply just a small amount more of this here and there. Now again, this is very even, but it's been strategically placed there so that we can make sure it gives a really nice lifted look. So I'm going to get my Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood complexion brush and I'm just buffing this into the skin, but I'm taking it in the same direction that I've applied it. Now, I have already got eye makeup on, as you guys have probably already seen. It's just because I had some other makeup on and I've just taken off my base and cleansed my skin and put my moisturizer on, ready for this, so that you can see what the whole thing looks like with eye makeup as well. Right, I'm going to get my beauty blender. You've got to make sure your beauty blender is damp. You want to make sure that it's damp as in you've wet it so it's doubled in size, squeezed all the water out, and then you've got tissue, wrapped it around the sponge and squeezed it again. Always double squeeze, because if you don't, you're going to have excess water in here and it's just not going to do your face any justice. If anything, it could potentially ruin it. So make sure that you have double squeezed it. Now, if you don't wet your sponge, you can use a spray such as the Max Fix and just kind of dampen your sponge, and we're going to do that there, and then I'm going to get a tissue, wrap it and squeeze it, and then we're ready. So that's an alternative if you don't want to wet it under the sink tap. Now we're going to go ahead and buff this in. Now what I'm doing is I'm making sure that my movements are super close together, and then I'm gradually taking it up outwards here, right? I'm not skipping any part of the face. Same thing here. We're going to gradually buff our way out there. And there you go. That is buffed out. It's honestly as easy as that when it comes to your concealer. Now that we've done that, you can see there's no harsh edges anywhere. We're now going to go into our foundation. I'm going to be using my Dual Forever Skin Glow. This shade is 3WO, which is basically 3 Warm Olive. I'm going to get my sponge, dab it into my foundation, and I'm going to start now buffing this into my skin. And we're going to go on the forehead area. And the same thing as what we did with the concealer. I'm keeping those movements very close together. Go down the nose. So we're being like, there's a method to all this. Like, we are starting at the top and then working our way down the middle. And then we're going to go onto this area here. Now I've got it on the back of my hand. So anytime you feel like you don't have any more foundation on your sponge, go back and collect a bit. But you've got to make sure that you buff it into the hand first before you buff it into your face. And there you go. I always do like that top, you know, the top part of the face first. Then I go onto the under eye area and then down the chin and then the rest of the face here. Just take it down jawline. That's basically our foundation done. Now I'm going to get my Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Sun Kissed Glow Bronzer. I absolutely love this. Been using this for about a couple of weeks now, and I love it. So this is basically a smoothing kind of bronzer. It's very healthy looking. You can use it on your body as well, and it's not got any shimmer in there, but it does somehow give you a little bit of a glow. So I'm going to apply this. I'm going to use my sponge for this. It's just a spare sponge I have. I'm going to use the end of it, and I'm just going to like basically dip into it like that. And then I am going to just kind of go into my cheekbones here, just underneath my cheekbone there. And this is going to warm up my face because I feel like it's a bit kind of, well, flat looking at the moment. And then I'm just taking this round the perimeter of the face. Okay, so I've got my powder puff, and then I've also got my setting powder here ready. I'm going to dip the powder puff into the setting powder, and then I'm going to go over this under eye area. Now while that sits there just for less than a minute, I'm going to get my veil brush from Hourglass, dip it into this powder, and I'm just going to dust this over my face, other than my under eye area. Very lightly, don't press too hard. Now grab your Real Technique setting brush, and now we're going to dust off this powder on the under eyes. Just going to do all these like extra little bits, like contour my nose. This is my Fenty 200 brush. Just a little quick diamond shape here. And then a little bit on the sides of the bridge of the nose. I really want to focus on like the foundation, so you know this bit isn't really that important. Now as you can probably see, my skin is like super smooth looking, right? That primer really helped, but everything else and the way we actually applied it is what has really kind of brought it together. I realized that sometimes when you do an overly matte look, your skin can end up, although matte is supposed to make your skin look smoother, it can end up looking a little bit kind of the opposite, because your skin can end up looking dry, and then you can see the lines and the texture a little bit more as well. So this is why this technique helps so much, because what we're doing is we're not actually pressing that powder in with a powder puff all over the face. You do that if you want it to last for hours and hours and hours, but obviously I'm not saying this doesn't last, but it is going to give you a smoother finish. So this will basically instantly give you that smoother finish, rather than having to wait for your natural oils to come out and then for it to look maybe kind of half smooth and half kind of like your texture kind of coming through. So I really wanted to show you how you can actually just apply your foundation, your concealer, help it look smooth with like from your actual primer all the way up to like application, finishing of application. Now I do want to just use a couple of other products to finish this look off. I'm going to be using my Giorgio Armani blush, and this is actually from their new blush range. It's a glow blush and it's the Luminous Silk Glow blush, and this shade is 30. It's this really kind of like bright tangerine color. This is my BK Beauty 108 brush. So I'm just going to apply this here. Just kind of like on the actual cheekbone, not too high. Just a tiny bit of my Made for Shade from One Size, the Bronze and Sculpt Trio, and I'm going to use the shade Low Key with my Hourglass Veil brush, and I'm just going to apply this right kind of in that area there, just for more of a slightly sculpted look. So it's right from the middle of the ear. Lastly, I'm going to use a lip line. I'm using Love Trap from Charlotte Tilbury. I'm loving this colour at the moment. I don't know why. It's not even a brownish colour, but I don't know why I'm loving it. And I just kind of feather inwards. It's kind of very fleshy, isn't it? And then we'll add a bit of the new Benefit Beach Vacay Butter Balm. This is really nice. This is in Vacay Coral, and it's just super comfortable on the lips. Like, it's not sticky at all. It's like a lip balm. And it smells nice. And that basically, guys, is how you apply foundation and concealer for a very smooth finish. I really wanted to make it easy to understand, quick, and not kind of like going on and on and on forever. So I wanted you guys to understand like the process. Let's just focus on concealer and foundation. Obviously, I've finished off with a few other bits, but there's nothing in between, you know? So I hope this has kind of like been really easy to understand for you. It is all about kind of understanding which products to use, but also how I've applied them. So what I would really recommend is that you rewind this video, get all of your things out, even if it's just your foundation and your concealer and your powder, and redo your base this way. Like, if you do it at the same time as me, like, pause it wherever you need to pause it, do this with me, and I can honestly guarantee you that your foundation is going to look better than you expected, because it is a lot smoother. It just generally, like, even close face to face, like in the mirror close up, my skin is way smoother. It is really about the products that you're using, but also, like I said, it's how you apply it and how much of it you apply, and also how you've kind of like your technique, how you're really buffing it into the skin, buffing it into your hand first and then buffing it onto your skin. Like different things like that, these tiny little changes make a huge difference in making your foundation and your concealer look smoother. So I'd highly recommend it. So if you like what you see, then go ahead and try this and let me know your thoughts on how it turned out on you. And if you, for example, sit there and you do it and you're like, okay, it's not coming out exactly the same or as close as, think about whether you're using the same products too. And if you're not, I totally get that. You don't have to be using the same products, but the textures should at least be similar, right? Think about what you're using. Like maybe you used a brush instead of a sponge. Well, obviously it's not going to come out the same then. So you've got to think about, are you using things which are as close as to the products that I've used them, and are you doing it at the same time? I'd highly recommend pausing the video as I'm doing the actual application, so you can really see how I'm applying it, you know, rather than just kind of like skipping those parts which seem minor, but they're actually really important. So wherever you guys are in the world, I'm sending you loads of love, loads of good vibes, and yeah, I'll see you soon. I really do hope you've enjoyed this video today, and if you did, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell button so that you never miss any of my future videos. Until the next video, take care, and I'll see you soon.